Hello everyone, in this episode we are going to get to know about how to get data in Power BI. Before proceeding further, let's discuss the answers of episode 3 where I asked you certain questions. So here are the answers. So now I'm sure all the answers are clear to you, but if you have any questions and concerns, you can put your comment in the comment section. Now, let's discuss very first how many data sources are there in Power BI. Well, Power BI is an amazing data visualization tool where you can get hundreds of data sources. The very first, we are going to talk about the flat files. In a while, I'm also going to talk about what are those flat files and how many different kinds of flat files you can view in Power BI or you can get the data in Power BI. Another one is your database. And the next one is your Power Platform. Then the next is Azure and its related services, then online services, and also there is others part which contains your ODBC driver, AWS, SAP, HANA. Like there are so many different kinds of data sources which I'm going to show you in a while during the demonstration as well. Now let's discuss first what are the flat files. Well, flat files are like your CSV file, your PDF file, your Excel file or your text file, and not only that, your JSON files are also known as your flat file. And at last, we can also consider the files which are inside your folders are those the flat files. Like generally we place text, Excel or these kinds of files inside the folder, so we count them as flat files. Now these files may be located in your local services or your OneDrive for business, OneDrive personal, SharePoint, team sites. So these are the possible locations where you can store these files. Now let's first discuss what are the databases. As we know that they are relational, non-relational databases. And now over here we are first going to talk about the SQL database, which is a relational database, but not only SQL, there can be another databases. For example, Microsoft Access, you can also talk about Oracle, or you can talk about any other kinds of databases. MongoDB is a non-relational database and that can be the Cosmos DB as well. Now, there are certain points that you should remember. First, depending on the database that you are trying to connect, you may have to provide a server name, database name, and the other credentials. In the demonstration part, I'm going to show you how you can connect with the SQL server. There can be two data connectivity mode available. That means either you can get data through import or you can have a direct query. Now we are going to discuss about the Power Platform. So as I mentioned, Power Platform can be your Power BI dataset, Power BI data flows, common data services, or it can be your Power Platform data flows. So these all are the Power Platforms. Now there are also again certain points that you should remember. The very first is that only users with built-in permission for a dataset can connect to a published dataset using the Power BI Service Live Connection. I'm also going to show you how you can connect with the Power BI datasets, and that would be your live connection during the demonstration part. Over here, there is another point. That means free users only see datasets in their My Workspace, or if they are a part of the premium workspace, then they can also see the datasets from the premium-based workspaces. But for data flows, we can connect to any data flows or entities regardless of which workspace it resides in, and whether or not it was defined in a premium or non-premium workspace. Now next we are going to talk about Azure. So as you know that Azure is a cloud platform by Microsoft which provides a public cloud or private cloud as well. Over here, you can connect to Microsoft Azure, and under Microsoft Azure, you will find Azure SQL Database, Azure SQL Analysis Database, Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 1 or 2, or Azure Databricks. Here, you should note that for Azure Analysis Services, import and connect live options are available, so you can connect with them. Secondly, using the Connect Live option helps you to keep the data and DEX calculations in their original location. That means you are not performing any calculation inside the Power BI. That is going to improve the performance as well. If you want to direct query the Azure Analysis Services model, you can use DEX or MDX language as well. Now let's talk about the online services. Well, you need to provide the URL for the site that you would like to connect. For example, any website, or you can even consider the SharePoint, Dynamics 365, or that can be your OneDrive. Not only that, you can connect to Google Analytics or LinkedIn Sales Navigator as well. But if you would like to connect to the GitHub as well, that is also counts under the online services where you can connect, you can bring your data from the GitHub as well. Now there are a couple of more important points that you should remember while you are getting data into Power BI. Let's discuss them one by one. First of all, you should remember that there are three different types of storage mode, that is import, direct query, and dual. Dual mode is also known as composite mode. In the dual mode, we generally have one direct query and one import mode, or nowadays we can also have live connection as well as the import mode. Let's first discuss the import mode. Well, this mode allows you to create a local Power BI copy of your datasets from your data source, and also data refreshes must be done manually. However, if your database resides on your on-premise location, then you need to install the Power BI Data Gateway. Only then you can schedule a refresh over there. Second is the direct query mode. In the direct query mode, you have to create a direct connection to the data source. Generally, we used to connect it with SQL Server so that you can query the specific tables that you will need by using native Power BI queries. In this mode, most up-to-date data model is ensured. Also, all security requirements are being satisfied for this one. And lastly, it's suitable for huge data sets. When you don't want to import or when you don't have any analysis queue, then you can use it. Also, through this mode, you can refresh the data almost in real time. Last is dual mode. You can identify some data to be directly imported and other data that must be queried. Also, it allows Power BI to choose the most efficient form of data retrieval. So that is the dual mode. Here you should note that nowadays Microsoft has already published one new feature. That means you can connect your analysis services or the live connection in a composite or dual mode as well. Now we are going to discuss some of the performance issues and how you can fix that. Well, if you want to fix the performance issue, first of all, you have to optimize performance in your Power Query. And how you can optimize? You can remove the unnecessary columns, you can optimize your DAX queries. There are so many other ways. Secondly, you should also concentrate on your query folding. In the query folding itself, you can go in the settings of the query folding, and there you can edit your SQL script. Next is the query diagnostic. So there is already a separate episode for this one. You would get to know what is query diagnostic and how this can help you to improve the performance. Now let's discuss about the resolve data import errors. So what you can do to resolve those kinds of errors that are caused due to import of the data. Well, the very first is query timeout expired. So that means your query is taking a lot of time while getting the data. So you have to work on that. You have to optimize your query so that it's not gonna get timeout. Second is Power Query error, that is timeout expired. So that can also occur in Power BI. So you have to figure it out why it's appearing. Or sometimes it also occurs that we couldn't find any data formatted as a table. So you have to also have a look, or you may have to format your data as a table. For example, you are getting from the data from a CSV file or any JSON file. So you have to format that. There are certain cases when you would find that you could not open the file or data type errors occurs, etc. So these are some of the data import errors which you have to keep in mind while getting a data from the different files or different data sources. Now we are going to move towards the demonstration part. In the demonstration part, I'm going to show you how to get the data from Excel, CSV, or a database or a Power BI datasets. So now let's head over to my Power BI desktop application where I'm going to show you everything. So right now I'm on my Power BI desktop application. Over here, if you are new and you have downloaded the latest version, then very first time when you would log in over here, you would notice this panel. That means your report canvas where you can directly get the data from Excel. It's a sample data. If you want to get the data from SQL Server, you can get it from here. If you have small data, you want to just paste it in a table, you can do there. Or you can even try a sample data set. However, on the top ribbon, you will see one option over here, that is the get data. And over here, you will find a lot of data sources from you can get the data, and you can even click on more. Then you would get the different categories over there, and you can choose which category you would like to go. For example, you want to see the all. I believe it's more than 100 or something. So you can just check all the list and you can find your data source over here. Or you can even search directly over here like text file or whatever you would like to search, you can do that there. Otherwise, if you know the category already, so what you can do, you can go to the file. In the file, you will get all those kinds of file like your text, CSV, Excel files, PDF, etc. Then you have the databases. So as I mentioned, SQL Server database, Microsoft Access database, Oracle, IBM DB2, and all those kinds of databases you would find over here. Then there's a Power Platform, as I mentioned, like Power BI datasets, Power BI data flows, common data services, and nowadays Dataverse and data flows are also over there. So you can get the data from there. Then you would find the Azure services. All those kinds of Azure services are over there. Then there are online services, and then at last others. In others, you would find rest of the things that are not covered in above categories. Now, as I mentioned you, I'm going to show you a couple of ways how to get the data. So let's start from the very basic. That means from the Excel book. Just click on Excel over there, or you can even come here and you can just say Excel, or you can just click more, come to the files, and there you can select the Excel. That means you have to just select under this file, Excel. You want to get the data from an Excel file. Click on this connect button, and there you will find your Excel files. For example, I have this demo data, and here I have this sales data. You can just select this file, then click on this open button. It's going to open that Excel file for you. And if your Excel file has many tabs inside that, then it's going to show them as a table. And there you can select either one or multiple tabs over there. And all those tabs are going to load as your one table. So let's select this one. It's going to show you the preview over here. You can select the columns. And if you would like to transform the data, that means if you would like to apply some of the transformations, you want to change the column name, you would like to change any of the data type, or you would like to remove any of the columns or everything, you can do over here under this Power Query window. This is very important, but if you are new over here, you can do simple transformations. For example, you would like to change the name, just double click over here. You want to remove some of the columns, you can just select the columns over here and you can say remove columns, or if you would like to remove other columns from the selected one, you can select this one. So these are the couple of ways, and I again request you to please try to play with this. If you would like to know more about the Power Query, there are already tutorials on our YouTube channel. I'll provide you link in the description section, so please don't forget to check them out. Once you're done with all the transformations, you have to come over here and just click on this close and apply. You can also click on apply and then you can select the close, but close and apply is in a one step, you're going to do everything. So just click on close and apply. After that, it's going to start loading your data. That can take a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, depends on the size of the data. And at last, you would see under this fields pane that your one table has been loaded with the name sheet 1. You can rename it if you would like to. Just come over here, right click and then rename it, say finance data. That's it. So now we have loaded data from one Excel file. But what if I would like to load data from the CSV file? Well, again come over here, and here you have to come again under this get data button. Just select over there text CSV, or you can find from the more as well. So over here we have text and CSV. Again over here the same data I have created into a CSV file. So you have to click open. Here you will find certain options like what is the file origin, what is the delimiter over here, and if you would like to customize as well, you can do that. So there are a couple of the options you would find. Generally it gets automatically, but if you would like to do anything, you can do that. And here you can again directly click on this load button, or you can also transform the data. Just click on load so that we are going to load the data. Power Query part I'm not going to cover over here. You have to learn over there. If you need any help or you need any training, you can connect with us. So as you can see that I have loaded this finance data and then I have loaded this sales data as well. So we have both tables over here that we have loaded the data. Now the third part, I'm going to show you how you can get the data from SQL Server database. For that, you have to come here again and then you have to select SQL Server. Now you have to provide your server name. In my case, my server name is Power BI. If you would like to mention the database, you can mention. Otherwise, it's just an optional thing. It's gonna show you all the databases that are over there into that server, and you can select any. Now, as I mentioned, whenever you are connecting to a database, there are always two modes. That means import or direct query. Import mode means all the data is going to store into your this Power BI file. Direct query means nothing is going to store over here except the metadata, and then it's going to direct query from your database. Also, if you will go in the advanced option, you can even execute your stored procedure over here. You have to just write down your stored procedure like execute system.execute or any stored procedure name. Also, if you have already your SQL script, you can directly paste it over here and you can start running it. Now, I'm going to import certain tables into my Power BI file, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Just click on this OK button. Once you will click over here, as I mentioned, it's going to show you all the databases. So I'm going to use this AdventureWorks DW 2019. So this is AdventureWorks Simple Data Warehouse. If you would like to know more about the free data sources for Power BI that you can use for your practice or to create your stunning dashboards and reports, please watch the video for the free data sources for Power BI. I'll provide you a link in the description section. So over here, I'm going to select one table, that is my fact internet sales table. And after that, what I'm going to do, once you select this, then there's an option, select the related tables. So if you would like to select the related tables, you can do after selecting this option. Otherwise, you can also select manually. So I'm going to select this. And again, if you would like to make any of the changes, you want to remove the column, you want to change the data type or name or etc., then you can do that. One very important point over here, please always remember whenever you are working on your Power BI with any data source, please try to do all the transformations in the Power Query. Otherwise, that can impact the performance of your report. So now I have just clicked on the load button and I'm loading all the tables related to my fact internet sales table. So you can see that all the tables have been loaded over here. And if you would like to check the data model, you can come over here under this model button, and here you will find your data model. But right now you will see it's going here and there. There is one option you can zoom out. Otherwise, you can just click on this plus button and you can say auto layout. So it's going to arrange automatically over here all the tables. And here your data model has been created. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you one more where I'm going to connect live with my Power BI dataset. So how to do that? There you can find this option, Power BI datasets, or you can come over here and you can get this from here, or you can also come under the more, go to Power Platform, and there we are going to get Power BI datasets. So just click on this option, Power BI dataset, click connect. So whatever data sets access you have, it's going to show you. Over here you can see I have this certified data set. I can just select over here and create. Now what's going to happen, it's going to create in dual mode. That means I can connect with Power BI service as well as with the import data. So it's going to ask me like, okay, connect to data sets. So what are the tables that I would like to connect, or what is my requirement over here? So over here you can see now you have all the tables listed over here in that data set. So I'm going to choose only one table out of these so that you can just get to know how to do that, though all these tables are same over here. So let's choose this table in product and submit. Now it's always going to pop up this potential security risk. So you can ignore it, but if you would like to learn more, you can learn more as well after clicking on this button. So click OK. And now what it's going to do, it's going to create a dual mode. That means, as I mentioned during the presentation, that either you can create dual mode with the direct query or import. Also nowadays Power BI has published this feature that you can connect direct query or import with the live connection as well. So at the right hand side bottom corner you would find this storage mode is the mixed mode. Now you would come under this modeling tab again, and over here what I'm going to do, I'm going to click again to the plus button and select this auto layout. Now you would find this table dim product 2, which is with the blue sign over here. So let me zoom in a bit so that you can see. So this is with the blue line. That means it's with the live connection, and the rest of the tables, they are either import or they can be direct query. So that's how you can create your composite model as well, by getting data either from your Power BI datasets or analysis services or the imported mode. So guys, in this video, I have shown you how to get the data from the different sources. In case you have to get the data from the SharePoint, or you need to get the data from the OneDrive or any other data source, you can get data from every place into Power BI. If you would like to know more how to get the data from the SharePoint or some other data sources, please stay tuned to our channel, and already there are so many videos, so please go over there, watch those videos, and those are going to be very helpful for your day-to-day work. Now let's move to the questions part. So these are the questions for this video. Please help me answer these questions. You can put your comment in the comment section, and in the next video you will find all the answers of these questions. I hope you liked today's video and you have learned how to get the data from the different sources. See you in the next video.